What is going on? Oh, okay. Okay, I got it figured out. Random count, how you doing? There we go. What, I can send messages now too? Cool. Alright. What's going on, everyone? How we doing tonight? Alright, let's, You're doing good? I'm doing alright. Can't complain. Yesterday I took apart the PS3 with my son, dusted it out real good, cleaned it up, and I had called a gaming store yesterday about PS3 controllers. And they said they had some. Thanks for sharing the live, appreciate you. And I go up there and the guy has a wired controller and a refurbished controller that he refurbished. And no shade to him, I'm sure it works fine. But, you know, I was thinking when I asked if you have PlayStation 3 controllers, I was thinking something more along the lines of like aftermarket or, you know, some with some cool designs on it. Not a controller you took apart in your basement and then called it refurbished. I'm sure it works fine. I just lost a ring. Crap. Well, let's see if I can flip this over. There it is. Lucky us. All right, so that was my excitement today. Where was I working just now? Those are in. I need to put one there. Okay. All right. Anyway, back to work here. So how's everybody doing? What's going on? Oh, and the shop that we went to, he had like comics and games and stuff, and like some good stuff in there. But it smelled horribly of mothballs. It's like it was not a pleasant experience. I won't be going back. Also, the name of the store was not on the window. So I like walked by it. Like there's some gaming stuff inside, but is this the place? I don't know. Anyway, that was my day. My kid was upset. Oh, and then we bought 2 PS3 games, and one of them was a Dragon Ball Z game, and the other one was some game that required the PlayStation Move, which I had never used, and we don't own. But before we realized, or we got the game, right? I'm looking for age-appropriate games for my kid. My kid's trying to get me to get him games rated mature, and it's like, no. E for everyone, buddy. Those are the games you get to play. Sorry. So the second game, we bought a Dragon Ball Z game, and the second game, I don't remember what it's called, but we can't even use it, so we're going to go to a... Louie, how you doing? We're going to go to another secondhand store. A lot of them are closed throughout the week and only open on the weekends. It's like a side gig for some of these people, I guess. Which is cool, you know. Respect the hustle. But we'll take that game and go and sell it somewhere else and get something different. Still haven't gotten your nails done, but gotten a lot of local restaurants calling you today. Right on. Very good, very good. Yeah, I don't have anyone contacting me back from my inquiries. And I haven't really found anything that I'm ready to take just yet. We'll see what happens. It's like I have to be able to take my son to school. and pick him up. And if the job cannot allow me to do that, then I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Even the one that got fined for putting cicadas in their drinks. Did they go outside and pick the cicadas off the tree and then try and serve them? I heard several restaurants got in trouble for that. Guess you can't do that. Had one call you and was on the line. And you took it while you were staring your manager in the eyes. That's funny. Good for you. Don't let them hold you back. I don't know. That's probably bad advice. I don't know. They pass you up for promotion, right? So it's probably good advice. Maybe they can have a meeting with corporate to figure out where they went wrong. Yeah, look up noon whistle if you want to see. Okay. All right. So what I'm doing right now is I'm adding some of these little strands of Byzantine to this enormous cube. Right? These are what's holding everything in place. They're nice. They're making everything nice and tight and preventing everything from moving. They're not paying what you want to get, but it's good practice. Passed you up multiple times. Yeah, for a promotion, right? I remember that. Using his negotiating power for a raise. All right, well, you know. Don't stay where you're not wanted. Like there's this expectation that people are going to stay in their jobs for 30 years that's kind of dying. There is no retirement for anyone anymore, right? Through a business. You have to set aside your own money for all of that and everything. So if we can get insurance away from being tied to employment, the world will be a better place. Because it's like working in the medical field, as I had for 18 years. It's like nurses change jobs every few years. Something better comes along, pays better. They won't match or beat, but you really don't want to lose your overhead manager because she's a good dude. Best big boss ever. I don't want to leave her, but corporate. Yeah. I had a boss at Wendy's. That was hands down the best boss I ever had. Rich Hammond. Good dude. I didn't want to leave there, but okay, that ring is gone. Can't stay working in fast food for forever. So I've had very few good bosses since working at Wendy's. Right. During the last several years of my enlistment in the military, I was working at a hospital, and it was all politics there. So, like, everyone wanted you to kiss their backside, and nobody wanted to do their job. It was a nightmare. I did not, looking back, I did not enjoy the leadership there. She's probably the best boss you'll ever have. She's considered opening her own place and you'll jump right on. Very cool. It's good to have friends like that. Alright, where are we off to next? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, one more. And then we'll close off. We got all of them along the bottom. No, we need to put... Yeah, no, that's there. Okay, yeah. So, anyway. Yeah, working in a hospital, last half of on my second enlistment, and it was just a dumpster fire. So I took off on deployment and jumped into a worse dumpster fire. But when I got back from that deployment, I got out and went to school, and it's all now just a bad memory. Gotta go shower and tackle the not wifey. So much touching. All right, Louie, have a good night. Appreciate you swinging by. Do I make or buy your rings? I have made rings in the past. These I purchased. I will be making my own rings again in the future just because of cost. But things like anodized aluminum, I'm not going to make in my house, so I will continue to order those if I need some. And then stainless steel, titanium, what else? Silver, gold. I'll make all those rings at home once I get to that point, but I got to get to that point. Mech, what's going on? I had an interesting day hunting down PlayStation 3 controllers, and it ended up being a wild goose chase, so it didn't work out, but had to convince my kid that it's okay that we take the L on this and we will live to fight another day. And he was not happy about it. It's like we tried and it didn't work out, and sometimes that's just how life goes. So other than that, pretty good day. I got this tub of rings filled up a little more from yesterday, and I was doing some math, and I've got like 10,000 rings to go. So this is my tub of closed rings. As you can see, you can still see the bottom through the rings, right? Like there's the bottom right there. Okay, you can see my finger through the rings, right? They're not packed. They're not filling this up yet. Okay, that's 2 days worth of closing these rings, which is fine, but it takes forever. Know what I mean? PlayStation 3 still got your kids back in time. Oh no, we have a PS4 and PS5. If they come out with Fable 4, I will buy an Xbox One. But the PS3, I think we had that since before my kid was born, actually. And it was sitting in the basement. It had been in his room upstairs, but we got him a TV that didn't need a console to connect to Netflix. So we took the PlayStation 3 out, and there's still some games downloaded on there, and some games that are only playable on the PS3. So we got it out the other day, cleaned it off, and put it back in his room, and now we got to get some controllers for it. So I've ordered some off of Amazon, and they should be here Monday. I was hoping we could swing by one of the local game shops and get one that way. So got one in the original Xbox, hop on it every now and then. I have an original Xbox and an Xbox 360. Check that one out. Progress is still progress. It is. That other app that TikTok won't let you say may not be working. I just had to authorize comments. I opened up Streamlabs and instantly got had to update some software, right? So I don't know what's going on there. Excuse me. But then I had to reauthorize Twitch as able to send comments. So anyway, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. But yeah, I'm not. It's like am home doing my thing. I bought a PS5 thinking, oh, I'll, relax and play video games and whatnot. I paid $150 to get PlayStation Plus, and then I was really looking for 2-player games for me and my kid, and there was just not a whole lot. And it was like, this isn't worth $150. So we connected it to the TV, and that's what we watch all our streaming services through, but that's all it acts as, really. So it was supposed to come with God of War Ragnarok, and there's supposed to be a code inside the box that you could then download the game, but it didn't come with that. It did not come with a coupon code, and so I had to go back to Best Buy and fight them to give me. They ended up giving me a $70 refund, and then I never ended up buying any games on it. So it's like I put that towards my PlayStation Plus account, and then when that didn't work out, I was like, screw this. So Xbox, where it's at for couch co-op games, right on. Well, like I said, if they come out with Fable 4, I will go get an Xbox One immediately, or whatever platform it comes out on. But other than that, I don't game enough to warrant buying another console. You know what I mean? So it's like I've got too much work to do, and I get too many migraines, and medication makes me way too drowsy, and it's like between all of that, trying to add video games to my lifestyle has not worked out so far, so I'm not overly. I don't know if it's actually coming out. I have seen teaser trailers, right? It's like, yeah, it's one of those I'll believe it when I see it kind of things. But until then, I'm not buying what you're trying to sell me, in that there's going to be a Fable 4 coming out, right? So we'll see what happens. I hope one does come out. I think that'd be awesome. Yeah, there have been rumors for many years. I heard latest was, I think, January 2025. So if we get Fable 4 and the 5th season of Stranger Things in 2025, I'll be a happy camper. It's like that's the only show I've watched recently that I remotely enjoyed. Oh, I dropped another. Oh, there it is. Dropped a ring. If a ring, is dropped in here and it gets stuck, it's going to be in there for forever. It is a big chainmail cube made out of smaller jump rings. It's not cube shaped yet, but we're almost there. It belongs with the cube now. Yeah, exactly. Because you're not getting it back. So we are 3/5 of the way done with this once I connect this next large ring. Which is awesome, because I'm ready to be done closing or reconfiguring all these little blackened stainless rings. Where was I working? Yeah, right there. I just looked at that. That looks worse than dropping a socket. Yeah, a little bit, yeah. I may have dropped one earlier. I think I got it out like really early on. Like I was working on it. I had dropped a ring in there previously, and then I was working on it later, and I didn't hear it drop out, but I found a ring randomly. I was like, okay, that's probably the one I lost. So, all right. Is that all of them? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Except for the corner pieces, I do believe that's all I'm needing. I can double check later. It's not that big of a deal. Once again, making sure we line up all our big rings appropriately. All right, that looks. You'll not admit the hours you have spent looking for nuts and bolts in engine bays. Yeah, I did not grow up working on cars enough, really, to be confident about working on my own vehicles at this point. So fortunately, I have a brother-in-law who's a mechanic, and anytime there's something wrong with my truck, I take it to him, right? So I don't run into that issue simply because I don't work on my own vehicles. Once they started adding computers to vehicles, Justin, how you doing? It's looking good, thank you. Once I started adding computers to vehicles, I was out. That's like when I stopped. The last vehicle I worked on was a 92 Geo Metro, but simultaneously a 72 International Scout 2. So, how are you tonight, Justin? Your uncles all worked on the family cars and have always helped, so you have some knowledge. Yeah, that's a thing. I have some knowledge, but let me put it to you like this, right? So I was having trouble with my steering column in my truck, and I thought, you know what? It probably needs some power steering fluid. So I go and I buy some power steering fluid, and I open up the hood of the truck, and I'm looking, and I'm looking, and I'm looking. I do not see a place for power steering fluid. I'm like, well, that's crazy. So I call my brother-in-law, and I'm like, where is the inlet for power steering fluid? And he goes, all your power steering is electronic on your truck, so you don't have power steering fluid. And I was like, yeah, okay, I quit. I'm done. What do you mean there's no power steering fluid? So, how heavy is it? It's about 20 pounds. So, it turns out that the rack and pinion of my steering column is a little jacked up, so it's a pain in the butt to turn left. But other than that, it's like fine. And he said, until it breaks, just deal with it, and then we'll fix it when it breaks. Knock on wood. Just finishing up, right on. Yeah, I've got, 20 pounds, and then 10 more pounds to add. Roughly, between 2 more layers. So it's probably like 18 pounds. If there's 5 layers in each, if there's 5 layers, each layer, and it theoretically should weigh 30 pounds total, then each layer should be 6 pounds. So it probably weighs 18 pounds, I'm going to guess. Give or take. So, and that's, I think last night I was talking about how I was just going to take it out to 30 pounds. I did have plans to take it out to 75, but at some point it will just rip itself apart with the weight. So I think 30 is probably going to be about the max we can do with this. And that way I'm not stuck working on this, trying to put one more layer on each side for another, I don't know, 3-4 months. Is that with the Byzantine and the ball bearings? Yeah, with the Byzantine and the ball bearings, it should weigh 30 pounds by the time it's done. If I did my math right. So it's absurd right now. It's a completely ridiculous, absurd project, and I love it. Also, yeah, I'm ready to be moving on. Oh wow, dang man. Whoo-wee. I just gouged the crap out of my knuckle. That's pretty deep too. All right, field medicine. It's alright, I gotta dress my knuckle here. I think I've used this tape more for tying toilet paper to wounds than I have on actual, like, things that need taped. I don't know what needs taped. What's the rod for? So, you mean the cable going down the middle? This'll hang suspended. Right? Like so. Okay. And the cable goes up through the center. And that's what it's going to hang from. Alright. See if I can even keep doing this. And, oh, let me get my drawing out. So that's going to be the cube in the center, and then it's going to have some round stock made into a square, and then more cable, and then more round stock made into a square attached to a base. And what I'm thinking of doing is taking all these excess rings and wrapping the round stock with them. So, but I haven't even planned the display portion of this. So I don't know how I'm going to go about doing that, but I've got some time to figure it out. It's not, because once I have this portion done, just the cube, I still have like 9 to 14 more sculptures to make. And all of them have to be planned and funded, and I have a few ideas for several of them, right? But even then I don't have that many. I have like 5 or 6, and I need 9 to 14 more, and then I'll take everything to a gallery, like a metal art gallery somewhere, and talk with them about putting on a display, and hopefully it'll all work out. But I've got a long way to go, and during that time we'll finish the base of this at some point. It was important to get the rod through early, though, or the rod. It was important to get the cable through early, because once I put on this next layer, I'm not getting it through, you know? Like, once it's done, yeah, that's it. I was lucky I could put the cable in at 3 layers deep. I do make chainmail bracelets. How you doing, Joe? Does who pay me? The gallery? So, if they put on an exhibition where they invite a bunch of people who they know who like metal art, and I sell some stuff, then I will get paid. I'm doing pretty good. But yeah, I make all kinds of chainmail bracelets and stuff. What are you looking for? I have a bunch made. Let's see here. Where's... I have a bunch similar to this one, the dual strand Byzantine, with the buckle clasps and like 5 beads on them. I have some with single beads. I have a lot of those, and then I have some. They're like simple weaves, but they have a clasp on them. I have a couple of those. Okay, well, the best place to send an image to me is like on Instagram. And if you send me a picture of your wallet chain, I can see if I have the stuff to match it. And if not, I can put you in touch with someone who can. I can personally test the quality. You have one and you wear it every day. Well, thanks, Mech. Appreciate you. Appreciate your endorsement. Yeah, about a week after you bought the second one of those, because there were 2, someone came and I probably had 3 or 4 requests. I was like, oh, you just missed it. And they wanted the pair, you know. But they were gone. It shouldn't show too much wear. Like, it won't last... It won't stay black forever, but it should stay dark. You know what I mean? Like, the rings on here should stay this color for forever because it's a static piece. They're not rubbing up against each other. They're not being exposed to UV or skin oils or anything. Whereas jewelry has those... it's just one of the cons of wearing jewelry. I want to do the underside of this first. So yeah, if you want to contact me on Instagram, it's probably the best place to send an image to me. And I will see what I can do. Charlie! You have a guy that you can talk to when you want to get your stuff in the gallery? Oh, really? Interesting. Charlie, I was trying to get a hold of you earlier. And, I followed you back. Or you can message me on another platform just to make sure that we stay in contact. Am I self-taught? Mostly, yeah. How you doing, Iowa man? Astrid, what's going on? Always awesome to see you. So, for the first, I would say several years, probably 8 years I was doing this, it was, there were very few resources on the internet available that I was aware of, right? And, so that's where I started, right? And that was in 96. And then even with my base of knowledge that I built up for those first 8 years, I still stand on the backs of giants, you know, compared to where I am now, right? Absolutely message you. Contact info. Awesome. Great. You're doing good? I'm doing good. Can't complain. I did just gouge my knuckle about a 1/4 inch deep, so not the first time. Actually, probably the deepest time, though. Image sent. All right. Yeah, Joe, I'll probably get a hold of you after. Oh, that reminds me. I've got. Okay. I have work to do. Not on this cube. So, I will try and get a hold of you after stream or tomorrow. And if you don't hear from me by tomorrow night, just shoot me another message. Okay? So, come here. All right. Yeah, I've got 2 other projects that I actually need to sit down and knock out real quick. One of them is super simple, and it's just like a 2-inch chain, right? Awesome, bro. Thank you. You're welcome. And the other one is like a sling pouch, and I don't even know if I have the rings for it, so I don't know what I'm going to do about that one. Why needle nose? These aren't needle nose. Is that what are these the ones you're asking about? Oh, no, like I have some needle nose for emergencies, right? If they happen to be like what works at the moment, but actually, you know what? I have used these a ton on some shirts I was making. And why? Because they are heavier duty plier. They were heavier duty plier, as opposed to for a larger ring size, and they just happen to be like the pliers that worked upside down in my left hand. Right. So that's the story behind those. Other than that, I don't really. I'm using these. These are Wubbers, right? And I suppose they do have a longer nose on them when compared with, say, Zurons, right? So, more needle nosy, but same kind of plier head shape, just longer. And the reason I'm using them right now is because I don't want to use my Zurons on this 16 gauge spring steel, because I don't. I don't think the Zurons can handle it, if I'm being honest. I think that would probably cause them damage. Something is grabbing this ring. So, I'm making a large cube out of chainmail that will hang suspended from a display, right? So that would be the cube in the center, and then a square made of round bar stock, and then another square that attaches to a base plate. And it's going, it's an art piece I'm working on. if I can figure out what I did wrong here, then I will be able to move on. That's what I freaking slipped on earlier. I'm like too far back or something. Problem with spring steel rings is that like once you put them into place, they don't want to open back up. There we go. That's, I must have snagged another ring in there or something because that did not want to participate. You have a hard enough time with stainless? Yeah. I highly recommend stainless and titanium. I like them a lot. They have a tendency to stay in place a lot better than other materials. Right. I mean, the application is important too. What are you doing with them? But it's like, if I make something, I want it to last for forever. That's my goal. There. And, you know, sure, stuff breaks, but made a Byzantine bracelet for your lady a while ago and thought about making it out of stainless. Yeah. So, that's a good question. Where did you get the stainless from? Because different suppliers or different manufacturers use different alloys. Right? Like, I believe the Ring Lord uses 304. I don't know. I'm not a metallurgist expert on what the best steels are for chainmail, but I just don't use galvanized steel. That's when you touched your oh, that's when you touch your eyelashes? Yeah. When you slipped and almost took your own eyeball out. Just like I slipped and, you know, now have an open knuckle. Not really. It's just I gouged myself pretty good for anyone watching. I'm fine. So, oh my god, dude. That kills my shoulder. Or my neck. Started using metal designs for stainless. It's so smooth compared to TRL. These, these spring stainless are the smoothest, shiniest rings I've gotten from TRL in stainless. I don't know what metal designs is using, but yeah, 16 gauge 1/4 inch is a bear. Especially if you're not using the right pliers. You need a lot of oomph to work with it. Whoa, almost took out my thumb knuckle. Screw you. I'll just hide you. Oh, yeah, I wouldn't use Zurons on 16 gauge 1/4 inch, man. I'm not going to lie. I would use these. Even if, you know, you don't have a pair of pliers similar to this that don't have teeth, I'd be using bigger rings, personally. or bigger pliers, personally. Thank you for the likes, everyone. I appreciate it. All right, a couple strands of Byzantine, and I think this third layer will be done. That's the gauge and size your hacky sacks are all made of. Yeah, moves like butter. You need to look at what they use. It's super shiny. Yeah, I have no idea what Metal Designs uses. I'm not familiar with their stuff, like, at all. I know who they are. I know who the owner, Shelly, is. I've just never had the opportunity to purchase rings from them or, you know, use their materials or anything. Metal Designs uses 304 Canadian, according to the page. Interesting. Get out of the way. Come on. I wonder what the difference between American 304 stainless steel alloy is and Canadian. I didn't realize there was a distinction, and I guess I should have. Chat tomorrow. Peace out and great work. Thanks, Joe. I'll take a look at your image and try and get back to you ASAP, okay? See what I can do. And if not, I can hook you up with someone who can help. Uh-oh. I gotta be real careful. I dropped the ring. There we go. Renee, how you doing? Coolio, thanks. You're welcome. I got the armrests. They are as seen on TV armrests. And the tops of the padding on the top came off, so I stamped some leather with chainmail pattern and put them on. They kind of work, you know. The cable is where the cube will be suspended from. So I don't want it to just sit like a lump, right? It's not my intention. So I'll show you the display design here in a second. I've got to try and get this to cooperate. I'm incredibly advanced in my project. I'm 3/5 of the way done. I was going to make it larger, but like the reality is you can only go, without welding all of the rings, you can only go so large, right? Otherwise, it'll just tear itself apart. So I'm going to stop at 30 pounds and hopefully it will be fine and be hunky-dory and it will cooperate and hang suspended without any issue ever. And someone will purchase it for a lot of money and set it in their home and love it forever. That's what I'm hoping. Would you have to weld each ring as you go? Yes. Of which I have plans to do that with certain projects. So, or at least I have projects that I want to make that will require that I do that. We'll see if I ever get to them. Where am I going here? And you're like, oh, that's a lot of work. It's like, yeah. It is, but also you don't know what's going to happen to these art pieces once they leave your hands. So you definitely don't want them. Here's the thing, okay? On one of my cube videos, my little jelly cube here, right? On this thing. You know how many people have been like, "Oh, you should fire a projectile at it. You should fire arrows at it. You should send it to Demolition Ranch, right? You should blow it up." And I'm like, I have no interest whatsoever in spending several hundred hours on a project just to destroy it, right? But you don't know what people are going to do with stuff, and it's like, I want it to be as strong as possible, so we'll see. Oh, also you may have to make a larger diameter sandworm ring. Well, that's okay. Now you know how to do it, right? So you got this. I believe in you. This is ridiculous. The angles at which you have to like bend. Yeah, this is all stainless steel. There's always something that baffled you at fair, people talking about destroying stuff you make. Yeah. I'm not interested in destroying stuff, and I've never understood really that mentality. Like, I get a demolition derby and why people think a demolition derby is fun. I get why people like Demolition Ranch, right? Shooting things on a slow-mo camera is cool. Okay? Not just because the internet says so, but objectively it's cool. Right? Alright. So the only thing missing is the Byzantine strands. The fourth Byzantine strand on each of these corner units here. I'm not going to worry about that right now. But we've got a spot for 4 ball bearings now. There's only going to be a total of 6 ball bearings in this. I was going to make it large enough for 32, but... So I'm using 16 American wire gauge, 3/8 inner diameter stainless steel for the big rings, and I think it's 18 gauge American wire gauge still for 18 gauge 3/16 for the black and stainless. That would make you not want to. Okay, new here. What's your grip strength? Holy moly, I bet you have a strong handshake. Great work, man. Hey, Kelly, how you doing? I don't know. I have one of those like squeezy things that test your grip strength. I don't actually think it's that high, right? It's certainly like higher after working with spring steel, but day to day work, just opening and closing rings, is not that hard. So like, if I break 100, I'll be happy. If I don't break 100, I'll be like, okay, I need to go work out. All right. Haha, charge them premium. Yeah, exactly. If you're going to buy something for me, you know what? If you're going to buy something for me and then destroy it, hey, you do you. You spend your money however you want. I don't want to sell my art to people who destroy it, but yeah, if the price is right, whatever. I certainly wouldn't want like the stuff that I have on my windowsill over here destroyed, because I keep it because I like that stuff. But if I sell this and someone stuffs it full of dynamite, okay, it is what it is, man. it is their property at that point, so. I probably wouldn't sell it to them if I knew that they were going to destroy it. But if they purchased it for me and I didn't know, and then I saw a video of it later, I'd be like, hey, they paid for it. It's their property. Not my problem. Will it make me sad? Yes, but I can dry tears with money. That's hilarious. Yep, oh, we need to put one over here. One right there. Okay. 1, 2, 3. So, I don't think anybody's going to want to destroy this. I think that someone's going to buy it, and they're going to set it up in, like, a front window of their house. In their front room, where all their guests come by and they go, what in the world is that? And then they'll tell them, I don't know. I don't know, I thought it was cool, I spent a lot of money on it. The guy was trying to tell me what it was, but it was like a Tower Babel situation. Thank you for the follow, appreciate you. Come on. Anyway, there were so many requests for me to see how this would hold up to damage. This is aluminum, so it's not... Hi, Jane. How you doing? Thanks for the roses. Appreciate you. There were a lot of people that asked about destroying this with a projectile, right? Fine. If I get the time and the right ring size, I will make a cube and find someone with some slow-mo cameras, and you know, we'll see what happens. If the intended if the audience insists, you know, then I must respond to my audience, right? I bet you could get some tech bro to spend millions on it for him to display it in their entryway. Yeah, it's like I don't have any like real audiences off of like Instagram and TikTok, right? So I don't know how to wave down the tech bros, but that would be awesome. Be like, yo, send me 1 Bitcoin, and I'll send this to you. Hell, I'll drive it to you. Make sure it gets there. One Bitcoin gets you personal delivery from me. Alright, we got those. We need one over here. So, posting on pages with industrial art, who knows? Yeah. Well, one of the things I want to do, speaking of industrial art, is I want to get it professionally photographed when it's done, and the base is done, and it's all strung up. And then, of all these art pieces that I'm making, right? Professionally photographed, all before they go to the art gallery, and then I'll take that photo shoot, and I want to try and market the photographs. so that maybe there will be an image of this cube in a hospital or a dentist's office somewhere. And maybe you can go to Target and buy a 36 by 24 high resolution print of this cube, you know. I'm in Wisconsin. So I don't know anything about doing that or what the contracts look like for that, but if you sell a catalog to Walmart or to Target, and they handle distribution and shipping and all that, you can order it from their website, whatever, right? Because a lot of that stuff, the art that you see gets picked up and put in offices around the world, you know? So it'd be cool to have like a picture of this available for purchase. I might just even do it myself, just offer the prints myself, but I really think that licensing it to kind of out of the way between here and Colorado. Yeah. I really think that like the most profitable way, aside from me doing it myself, is to license it out to a big retail store like Amazon or like Walmart or Target or whatever, right? And there's photographers that do that, like that's their job. So I know it exists. I have no idea where to start with that. But even say like 1% of, you know, 100,000 sales is not insignificant. You know, for like, say it's how much do they cost? $20. What's 20 times 100,000? What's 1% of 20 times 100,000? Right? I don't know. So yeah, I actually rode my Harley to Colorado a couple years ago to visit a friend of mine, and that was a fun trip. Okay, guys, this is the third layer is done. I've got to adjust some of these Byzantine strips. Right? But we always have to adjust the Byzantine strips, because none of them want to stay in the right place. But that's okay. Oh my goodness, this is nuts. That's hefty. Like, if I tossed this at you, that's like a medicine ball. It's like a 20-pound medicine ball. He and the friend that is a professional photographer, he did your wedding. He's living in Colorado and will be coming here in October, so you were going to offer. Yeah, woohoo is right. Woohoo is right. 3/5 of the way done. I'm happy about that. But yeah, like, okay. So, wildlife photography. A lot of people buy wildlife photography. You walk into Amazon, you walk into Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Walmart, Target, what else? What other big stores are out there? And you can go in the art section and find wildlife photography, right? And so they'll go and they'll take their picture and they'll license it through, or they'll sell the rights to one of those major stores, and, you know, they'll get a chunk of the profits. And I don't know if it's really worth it to go through the whole process, but I definitely am interested in looking, you know, what are the options of making money off of this with, you know, after I sell it. So, oh, puzzle piece of death. I think we'd have enough people in here commenting tonight that we wouldn't get that. Apparently not. You wouldn't survive if this was tossed at you? I don't think I would either, to be honest. I mean, if I was expecting it, sure, but... This is... There's not a lot of room. Which is good. That's ideal, but also, like... There we go. That caught on. There we go. All right. On to the fourth layer. I almost wish I wasn't... I wish I had another camera. Instead of just my phone. So I could snap a picture of this moment. Ah, screw it. We can take pictures when it's done. How long to make a ring section? About hour and a half. Right? Like, it's not that many rings. It's just, it's a pain. We are oriented the right way, right? No, we're not. Why aren't we oriented the right way? All right. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. Okay, we're just going to have to start, like, smushing this into place because it's not wanting to cooperate. Okay, oriented the right way. Yes, okay. So 95 of the ring sections times whatever, an hour and a half. Okay, so 140 some odd hours just in making those alone. And while, yeah, okay, there will be like 42,000 odd rings in this when it's done. It's definitely not just a straight, oh, he can weave 200 rings an hour, right? So can't divide 42,000 and come up with the number of hours worked on it kind of situation. So there were some mistakes early on, in addition, that added time. I think I could get you to show you how to close the end. You had a really hard time. Okay, so I start on the inside, and then I do the sides, and then I do the top. Excuse me. Does that make sense? Because the least reachable place is going to be the hardest spot to get to, right? So start on the inside of the ring, then do each side, and then do the top. And I'm going to go watch Twitch for a better view. I don't know if it's a better view on Twitch, but it's definitely a different view. What's happening here? What is he making? I see chainmail, but what is the end goal? How you doing, James? So I'm making a large chainmail cube. I've got 2 more layers to go. And this cable is going to run up through the middle, and it's going to be suspended, right? Once it's done. And it's like that's going to be the cube in the center. And around it is going to be a big metal square surrounded by another metal square, and that second metal square will connect to the base at the bottom holding everything up. And it's just a piece of art I'm working on. So, and the end goal is to make 10 or 15 of these chainmail sculptures. And put them in a gallery somewhere. And hopefully sell them for lots of money. Thank you. Oh god, what am I doing? I'm trying to weave upside down and backwards. Absurd. Just move the brick. There we go. Trying to get articulations out of my phalanges that don't move that direction. So I don't know why I tried to do that. Wow, ow. It's like I literally just tried to go and weave a ring like that. Don't do that. That's dumb. I'm not a smart man. Does orientation being a little off mess with it being able to close a ring or affect adding another? No. Like, you're going to have to fight to put every ring on. All the big rings. You're going to have to fight to put all the little rings on, too. So, like, it's just tight enough to hold everything solid, relatively. And, you know, and you're still able to add more material to it, right? So that looks like a lot of man hours poured into it so far. Yeah. So the sections of rings, right? I did half of them backwards, so I had to take those apart and fix them. Then all the black rings that you see on here, these strands of blackened rings going around each of the big rings. All of these rings are out of round, so I've had to correct all of the rings I've used so far, and I've got about 10,000 to go. And then just putting it together, right? It takes me an hour and a half to do 3 of these during a stream. So I've been working on this for a while. Shit, had to look closer. You didn't even notice the black ones? Wow. It is crazy. It is an epic battle to the end. And I'm going to win. If I can avoid, like, gouging the crap out of my knuckle, I will win. Yeah, let me close this ring. Let's see if I can lift this and show you a close-up. Okay, so mech, if you're looking here, right? So I've got the center full Persian closed, right? And then I start on the bottom. Does that make sense? Do gloves help or get in the way? They get in the way. Okay. See if I can lift this. This is 20 pounds, and I stopped lifting it a while ago, but there is a close-up. Each big ring has these black and stainless, and each... there's not corners of a ring, right? But where the rings connect with each other, there's a black and stainless ring there. And that is to help hold everything in place. And then I already have one ball bearing in here, but there's a space for 4 ball bearings, right? I don't know if you can see those. And this layer, right? And then in the layer I'm working on, there'll be room for 1 more ball bearing to sit right here, and then it'll have a total of 6 ball bearings in it. I was going to do 32 ball bearings, but we're running into a point where the weight is probably going to tear itself apart, and I didn't weld this just because I started with supplies on hand, and I probably could have welded them, but that would have even taken longer. So I'm going to stop at 30 pounds. That was my original intention, and then I'll figure out something else to do with all the extra rings that I have for some reason. So, all right. So in the next 2 layers, there are 39 large rings. So I'm not going to be able to stream every night, right? But at 3 rings a night, that's, 13 more streams of putting big rings on, right? But even in this stream, I didn't get 3 large rings on. I've only gotten 2 because I had a bunch of black and stainless to add. So, wow, following, can't wait to see the final piece. You shouldn't have an issue finding a gallery. I hope not. I'm right in between Chicago and Milwaukee, and so like somewhere in there is people with money who like cool stuff, and there's a place for them to shop at. I've got a long time to go before I go like talking to any galleries. I want to show up with at least 10 to 15 pieces. That's the ideally, right? And then it's like I've got to get some receipts for some other large pieces I've sold, and I've got to take high resolution photographs of everything, and it's like I've got to make the sculpture, and then I've got to make the display for every piece. So it's going to be a while before any of that happens, and I'm probably putting way too much hours into it to make it worthwhile. But also it's like there are people in the chainmail community who make jewelry, and they're much better at it than I am, right? And they pack up their stuff and they go out and vend on the weekends. And I have neither the time nor the temperament to do that. And they're working every day, hustling, but they end up making a lot of the same stuff over and over again, right? And while this is a large project and it's taken a long time, and I've worked on it already a really long time, and I could have made money maybe doing something else, perhaps, I don't know. I have a hard enough time selling what I do make for sale. Also, promise not trying to copy you, just show you a really cool weave that will stay Rich enough in a ring for that you needed it. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the dinos. Appreciate you. Mech, you can copy the crap out of me. All of everything that I do. Yeah, feel free to use my ideas. As I said previously, I stand on the shoulders of giants. Right? Like, I didn't figure this all out myself. This isn't actually, like, that complicated as far as technical chainmail weaves are concerned. I've taken something to an extreme, right? That's really all I'm doing here. And I used it in a cool application, and I'm going to display it in a cool manner, and it'll be the only one ever, because no one else is silly enough to do this, but, you know. So, yeah, I'm hoping... to be well known one day as... like a prominent chainmail artist, you know? Because... it's like, I've done a small amount of vending. I've done a show. I've done Texas Renaissance Festival. I've wholesaled for other chainmail artists at their booths and whatnot. It's like, I like selling my stuff, you know, and I love going into Renaissance festivals and seeing people wear my stuff. That's always cool, right? But I can do more than that, and I want to. So I think I can anyway. We'll see if I get through this project. These rings that are out of round are driving me up a wall. Hopefully you don't hurt your neck piggybacking off you. No, you're fine, man. Like, none of these are my inventions, right? Let me put it this way, okay? I made all but 2 of these, right? But I didn't come up with any of those weaves, right? These are all, like, a large group of people came up with all of this stuff. And I'd like to think I've contributed in my own small way, but, you know, 95% of why I do this is to show other people stuff that they can learn how to do. The other 5% is because I want to get people into my website and have them buy chainmail themed apparel and accessories so that I can dress the world in chainmail and everybody can be in style, because chainmail doesn't go out of style. What? True story. 1,500, 2,000 years old, something like that. We still use it for stuff to this day. Still haven't seen anyone else make Ringception rings. I've seen a few pieces. None so, I don't know. Nothing so in-depth as this that I can think of off the top of my head. But I've seen a few pieces. You love your chainmail pieces. So, what do you wear? What kind of chainmail do you have? Like, what you got? How's the finger? It's alright. I dug like a 1/4 inch of skin out of my knuckle. So, by slipping with my pliers. I won't take a photo of it and post it, but it's pretty gnarly, right? You got a hood and a tunic? Right on. Yeah. So, well, and a lot of the reason you won't see anyone else making ringception rings. When we say ringception, right, we're talking about using small rings to make big rings, right? And it's just like what the technique's called, named after, you know, Inception, the movie. So, you know, dreams within dreams, right? Even though that's not what Inception meant in the movie. Can I make a chainmail gremlin bell? I can hang a gremlin bell off a chain. Are they specialty pliers? So these are Wubbers. They're like 90 bucks. These are Zurons. They're like 20 bucks. And these are from my grandpa's junk drawer. From, they're probably, when did I get them? 28 years ago. They are probably, oh, excuse me, 50, 60 years old. And this is spring steel, so like I don't want to be messing with this stuff too much without some pliers that have some oomph to them, but also I don't want to scratch the crap out of them. I mean, actual biker style gremlin bell made specifically from tightly woven chainmail. You could do it, but you won't replicate the bell sound. You could make a little bell. Right? A better idea might be to take a gremlin bell and then use some small rings to place over the top of the gremlin bell. Like if you just have a plain gremlin bell or you don't like it, what it looks like, you could cover it in chainmail. That way you'd still have the bell and it would be decorated. You could do that. I have an extra gremlin bell upstairs. But I did not, when I decided to put chainmail on my Road King, I did not think about putting chainmail around the gremlin bell. It's like I've got saddlebags that are covered in chainmail, and I'm going to do a gas tank bib with leather and chainmail, and then wrap the leather toolkit in chainmail. And that's all I was going to do as far as material-wise goes. Can you weld chainmail together to make a walking stick? A gremlin bell is a little bell that you hang towards the front lower portion of your motorcycle, so that as you're riding, as it rings, it scares the road gremlins away, so they don't jump up and like cause problems with your bike, or you know, make you hit a pothole or something. And loved ones give it to their family members who ride motorcycles to protect them. So yeah, you can, like, okay, you know, standard industrial chain, how they weld that together to make it solid. But you could do that with chainmail. There's weaves that are dense enough to do that with. It's just how sturdy are your welds, you know what I mean? Also, how many welds do you want to make, and how big of a ring do you want to try and use to make a walking stick out of? Is it possible? Yeah. Is it something that I would attempt? Not right now. That would be a big project, for sure. Yeah, you can't go buy your own gremlin bell, for sure. Where are we at here? 10:02? Look at that. My, how time flies. All right. No dropped frames tonight, so that's good. Okay, everyone. We are on the third layer, right? So you can see one ring here, one ring back here, the third ring right there. Okay, for those over over here. 1 ring here, 2 rings there, 3 rings there, right? So that's 58 rings, plus this one, 59 now. 59 large rings. And I don't know how many strands of Byzantine. It's 84 plus 84 plus 64, whatever that number is. So 220 some odd rings. We only need 380 of the small Byzantine chains, right? And we've got 220 of them, at least so far. 220 plus. Got a long way to go, but it's we're almost there, kind of. We're over halfway, right? And a large portion of the work is already done, right? Like these are all the big ring sections, right? That's all done. I need the strands of Byzantine to get done. So it's a long process, but I think it's going to be worth it, you know? When it's sitting there hanging, you know, on display, I think it's going to be cool. If you're interested in a small project in the inbox here, you love black small chainmail over silver bell. All right. Shoot me a message. That way I don't forget to follow you. What else? Okay, so for those of you who don't know, my name's Sean. I run mailworks.com. That's my username.com. I design and sell chainmail themed apparel and accessories, and I make chainmail, right? I make stuff from chainmail, and you know, we did a big show and tell, like 25 minutes of show and tell last night about stuff that I've made. And I have gone over other people's projects, and I do plan on making videos of other large projects that other people have made, and it's super fun. And we'll get back to that probably when my kiddo goes back to school, and I have time during the day to do content like that. So I'm usually here 8:30 to 10 most nights of the week, hanging out, making chainmail. It is summertime. I do take nights off to spend time with family and do family stuff. And sometimes I am a disabled vet, and I do have my neck is really messed up, so sometimes migraines take me out and I'm not unable to stream. Just is what it is. But I try to be here as much as I can. My goal is to introduce other people to chainmail. Right? Just let them know that, hey, you can make this stuff in the comfort of your own home, and it's really simple to start out, and you can just make it as complicated as you want over time, right? And if you are interested in getting started, in the link tree on if you're on mobile, if you're on the phone, in the link tree in my bio over on TikTok is the Mailworks web app. You don't have to download anything. You can open it up, and in there's resources for tools, suppliers, where to find them, where to find where other people hang out at. And there's a Discord in there if you have any questions that you can join. Just coming to say you're a good father and husband. Keep up with the good content, bro. Thank you. Tented New. Thank you. I try. So, if you're interested in, maybe trying a new hobby, right? Check out the link is in my link tree in my TikTok profile. Right, so once we're done here, if you're on mobile, it doesn't show up on computer, I guess. I don't know. So check out the app. Please follow me on other socials: YouTube, Facebook, X, Twitch, TikTok. Right. Help me grow my channels. I do appreciate it. The whole like, follow, share does wonders. I've got a good base on 2 platforms, and I'd like to get the other 3 or 4 growing as well. So every individual helps. I do appreciate it. Okay, hang on.
You have a very upset little boy upstairs.
What? Is his brackets coming off, or?
No, because he wants to play the new Fortnite, whatever, but you're stealing all the bandwidth.
Okay.
So can you finish?
Yeah, I'm almost done.
Okay.
So it's, if you're on Samsung, it's the Mailworks app. Just search Mailworks on the Google Play Store. The Apple link is not working right now because Apple sucks. And I got to do some stuff with Google. Like, I have to go and I got to do a bunch of crap on the back end, and I haven't had time. So you can find it on the Google Play Store, right? But the link tree is, I think it's just link.tree/my username. Let's see if that works. It's link.e/ there it is. Okay, hang on. Let me copy and paste this for you. Paste. So, no, not that. Here is the link to my link tree. And at the top is the web app that has all those resources listed inside. And it's like, I just built the app for all the resources that existed. It's other people's work. There's other chainmail artists in there. If you're looking for some stuff to get done, you can go check them out. And, you know, tool recommendations, suppliers, where to find other chainmail artists, stuff like that. So, with that, please like, follow, share. I'm going to get out of here. You all have a wonderful evening, and I will talk to you all, if not tomorrow night, then soon. All right? Have a good night, everyone. Bye.